stronger individually and collectively. We are your hosts, Cindy
and Sam
and Stacy.
All right.
And on today's show, this is our New Year's show.
Woo!
All right. So, the New Year. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to say yeah. I think I am. I think I am.
How do you feel about 2020? You know, some years you feel like, this is going to be my year.
Yeah, but I don't really feel that
like
way.
A bandit.
I'm the kind of...
That's the song lyric.
I kind of feel like... I don't feel like it's going to be like the best year, but I feel like it's going to be... No, I just kind of have that attitude of it can't fucking be worse than this year.
Okay, this year was just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was...
It was just like there.
No, it was...
For me. Really? Aww, sorry. Alright. What about you, Stacy?
I stopped predicting things for New Year's because, or for a year in general, because when you do that, you set yourself up for failure. You're like, yeah, this is going to be a great year, blah, blah, blah. Psych. Like, Aunt Cindy, she probably set herself up last year. It was like, this would be great, and it wasn't. You didn't think that?
You know,
no, not even a little bit.
You have been channeling Eeyore.
No, that's real life. That happens all the time where I always think, like, that happened, like, 2 years ago. I was like, okay, great. Like, I'm going to get into this sorority. And it was right before New Year's started just because the girl texted me. Then I went to my interview and I did really bad because I had predicted, like, okay, this is going to be a great year. I'm going to do my best. No, I didn't.
No, that's so wrong. It's not how that works.
That always happens. That always happens to
okay,
people.
So you think that you should just say this year's going to suck and then things are going to be better?
No, you shouldn't. I just don't say anything at all. Like, nothing. Don't say, okay, this is going to be my year. Don't say, this is going to be the worst year of my life. I can already feel it. Don't do any of that. Just don't say anything. Just say, okay, well, let's see what happens.
What will be, will be. All right.
Exactly. All
right.
I have hope for next year.
Gotta have hope.
But I don't know if it's because I'm getting older that I'm learning to manage my expectations more because I'm not like, well, you're in your 20s and you're like 65. You're just gonna be
65 and pessimistic.
I didn't say it was gonna be terrible. I just said I'm not gonna predict anything because there's no reason to.
Okay, let me come at it from a quantum mechanic standpoint.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Like some math.
Are you ready? Yeah. Bring out the calculators. It's gonna be a test. All right. So, in the quantum world, things, and this is true, that the quantum particles don't actually form a state until the observer looks at them. So all states are possible until the observer looks at them and then they coalesce into a state. That is a fact about the quantum world. So you can't really make this leap, but it's encouraging. So if you think about it in a different way, although it's not scientific, that maybe, possibly, things don't actually manifest until you decide this is what I'm going to do. Do you know what I'm saying? That's one way
I find that to be true in my life. Because literally, I had that effect this week. My mom was thinking about moving into a space I did not want her to move into because of the price, and she's a senior citizen and she lives on a fixed income, but not a good place for her. So I said, no, you can't move. I'm going to pray you can't move. I was so against it that I could not even support her on this decision because, like, normally I'll say, okay, Mom, all right, hold my tongue.
Yeah.
But this one, no. I could not hold my tongue on this. She's not moving.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe that's some of the basis of prayer, that people just like feel and make a conviction that this thing is going to happen, and then the universe kind of aligns to make that happen.
I really do believe that. I believe in the power of somebody's having issues with their hair, but it's really cute.
I know. Stop fussing with it.
I believe in the power of manifestation. I really do. I think that you can manifest good things in your life. I think if you focus on the bad things,
then bad things are gonna gravitate towards you.
The universe catches on to that, and that's what it sends you.
And you know what? I believe that too, and that's why I learned you don't predict anything for the year and just see what happens. If you let me finish. So this is what happens, right? If something good starts to come your way, then you can go ahead and say like, okay, I've got this. I'm gonna make this happen for myself. Okay. But if you predict too soon that this is gonna be the best year ever, you know, anything could happen. You never know.
So, in that I say, when you say this is going to be the best year ever, you're giving the universe no direction in which to flow. You are just opening it up to endless possibilities, so the universe doesn't know what to send to you, so it doesn't know what you want. But if you say, this is going to be the year that I get into that sorority, and you really want that, and you don't place any negativity on that, and you're not attached to the process of which you get there, that will come to you. Boom, mic drop.
I don't believe that.
Try it.
I have tried it. I'm not saying this because I haven't already tried it. It's because I've tried it, and this is what happened. Like, you know, things didn't go the way I wanted to, so now I've learned, don't predict anything and see what happens. And if, you know, you get your foot into a good situation, that's great. Then, you know, go ahead and say, okay, well, I'm definitely going to get this for myself. This is all I want, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and do that. But don't do it early. Not premeditated.
Well, here's a question. So if you live your life just waiting for things to come your way, like, you know, how do you ever find direction? Like, how do you ever, like, when do you decide, I want that thing? If you're just like, I'm just going to wait for things to kind of come my way, and whatever comes my way, if it's good, then I'm going to...
You always put in the work.
What is the work?
So if I know that I still want things for my life, obviously, like, I still want to get a good paying job, like, obviously, then in that case, I'm going to say, okay, this is what I want, but I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, this is what I want, so this is what's going to happen automatically by predicting, like, this is going to be such a great year, I'm going to get this job. I'm not going to do that to myself because it's not how that works. You have to put in the work. And people do that all the time. Don't play. People do it all the time. They're like, I'm going to get this bag. I'm going to get this job. I'm going to do this, that, and the other.
Work, like, though? You keep saying you have to put in the work. What is the work?
You have to put in the time. So, like, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to apply to jobs a couple hours out of the week every day. And I'm going to do whatever I can to ensure that I do get a job that I actually do want. I'm not just sitting there waiting for somebody to call my phone and be like, oh, Stacey, we got a job offer for you.
What have I always told you girls?
I don't know.
Have a goal, but have a plan to get to that goal.
Exactly. You got to put in the work, so don't manifest things until you get in there.
But you know what? Can I say, I think the way you're proposing to live reminds me very much of how, like, dogs and animals live their life. You know what I mean? Dogs don't sit down with a calendar like, next week I'm going to bury a bone. You know, they don't do that. They don't, like, plan their life even 1 second ahead. They just kind of deal with life as it comes, and they seem to be very happy. Yeah, you never see a dog depressed, like, yeah, dude, like, that thing that I wanted, that pet bed didn't happen, and my life is screwed. You know what I mean? They're always just happy.
Chew bones in this house suck.
Exactly. So I don't know, maybe there's something to that, to kind of live the way the animals live.
Try to see what happens.
No, I say this is what I want, but I already know that I've already done something in my life that's going to make that manifest. I already know that I've put in some work that's going to make that manifest. I know I want a home. Now, I'm not particularly attached to how that manifests in my life. I just know that it will because I'm working that direction. Now, that said, I haven't in the last couple of years done vision boarding.
Yeah.
But when I wasn't married, and before New Year's, New Year's Eve, when I got to the point where I didn't want to go out anymore, I'd have my new pair of pajamas.
New jammies.
And I'd have my, I had all the things that didn't work for me during the year written down on a piece of paper, and I'd take that piece of paper and I'd look at it and I'd pray about it and I'd roll it up and then I'd I'd blow it up. And so it didn't exist anymore in my life. So those negative thoughts didn't exist anymore in my life. And then I would sit down and envision the stuff that I wanted to happen in my life.
Okay.
And so I would have my dinner, do my nice dinner, do myself a nice dinner, and I'd have my glass of champagne, and then I'd sit down and I'd put together my vision board.
And what does that look like? So for people like me, I know we've talked about vision boards before, but we didn't show.
So anything. I take a board. It doesn't have to be this big. It can be any size. It doesn't have to be this big.
Okay.
But so I take. Mine will be this big this year because I got a lot of stuff to envision.
Okay.
But I like say for my home, I've already gone through homes on the internet, like real homes that are for sale in an area that I want to move to.
Yeah.
And I've already took some of those pictures and put them in a folder, and then I will print them out, and then I will do my sections on my vision board, like what I want the living room to look like, and then I don't want to write on my vision board.
I'll buy you.
Well, you pointing to a blank board doesn't really help people.
Well, then let's do this one for.
So just start filling it out and then
we'll
show
do a
them.
best 2 podcast vision board.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right.
So let's do the best 2 podcast vision board.
You want to say B2P or best 2 podcast?
Best 2 podcast. Best 2 podcast.
I'll buy you a new one. Calm down.
That's okay.
Okay, don't move the table though.
Here, well,
Don't jiggle the camera.
Let's hold it.
Best. You know what? I'm going to try to turn the camera so they can see. Oh no, I can't because we'll lose our background.
Well, that's okay. We'll hold it up.
Okay. Be patient, everyone. All right.
And that's really nice.
So you put like your name.
Best 2 podcast. You don't
Okay,
have to
hold
put
it up
your
so
name
they
on
can
it.
see each step of the way.
So she just put best 2 podcast on here.
Help her out.
And so we're just going to start envisioning what we want our podcast to grow into next year.
All right.
And I think that for me, I think keeping a vision of what you want to happen helps you to continuously work toward those goals. But it also helps the universe, and I believe in that. It also helps the universe to focus on your goals. So I think one of the things that we talked about is that we really want to have a conference launch party.
Yeah, like a workshop. All right.
And
so what does that look like on a vision board?
Well, for now it's going to be written.
And you can write. You don't have to do pictures. You can totally do writing on your vision board if that's what you want to do. Also, if you don't have a vision board, you can get a really nice card. Go to the card shop and get an empty card that looks really pretty and really speaks to you. And then just write on that card the things you see for yourself in that year coming up. It's a way to help you keep focused so that when you lose sight of what the year is about for you and what you want the year to look like for you, you can look back at your vision board, or you can open up your card and you can say, oh yeah, I got to move toward that. I got to start doing that. It's good. And then also, I think it's fun to look back at the end of the year to see what you've actually accomplished on that vision board, or what manifested itself for you.
That's really cool. So where should you place the vision board, like in your world? Should it be like in your bathroom? Should it be like in your bedroom?
Whatever.
So when you wake up every morning, there it is, like living room, kitchen.
Wherever you look at, wherever you go the most, whatever's comfortable for you. There's no particular place to put it. I used to just put mine in my bedroom because that's the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning. Last thing I see when I go to bed at night.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like I know people that will, instead of doing like necessarily a vision board, they'll take Post-its and they'll stick them on their bathroom mirrors, or a mirror where they look at their outfits every day, just to kind of help them remind themselves of whatever that they want or they're feeling, or the different things like that.
Yeah.
And it also works too to look at your vision board in the morning take that out, take something off your vision board, put it on that little post-it and stick it on the mirror in the bathroom. That works too.
I've heard of people like putting positive affirmations on post-its and then sticking them on the mirror. I've been trying to put a positive affirmations on our Twitter account so that, sometimes it's nice when you like open up your phone first thing in the morning and you see something that's positive to get you going and, like, oh yeah, I'm ready to go.
I like big butts in a candy.
Oh my God. Okay. And that's the champagne kicking in.
It's a positive affirmation.
It's a positive affirmation.
So what else did we talk about? So let me show you.
Well, show them what we've got so far.
This is what we have so far on our vision board.
So for conference/workshops, we have connecting with women and learning /experiencing new things.
Awesome.
Ooh, that's good. That's really good.
Sorry.
Yep.
Right there.
Good. I like that.
And what else?
And then basically you just start cutting out pictures.
If you want to,
stick
you
on there to kind of give you more.
Pictures are nice. It makes it prettier.
Here, I got you guys. I'll draw some pictures on the side.
Yeah.
Pictures are pretty.
I'll put some
like
little stars.
Pictures of women empowering.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is really cool. If you can draw, you're even more in the ballpark.
I can't.
So, but that's pretty. You're doing a really good job.
It's the
I'm
little
impressed.
stars for your I believe in the all that.
You have to
I believe in all that.
all that mysterious crap.
That's it.
Oh, the universe.
Oh,
that's
that
what you
universe
called it.
mumbo jumbo.
The
You've been talking
universe,
about.
I believe in it.
Yeah.
I
do.
believe in the universe too. I really think it's a very powerful
Oh.
thing. Just in case you guys didn't wanted to see our decorations.
I love the stars. Yay.
You're really good at
This
this,
way.
Stace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
That's
done a vision
pretty.
board before. I think it's a waste of my time. I prefer to go organized. It's because vision boards aren't necessarily organized things to me.
Mm-hmm.
They can be very all over the place, and that's not me. I like to be very organized and concise. So if there's some I'll write it down in a list. I'm a list.
So you're
person.
like a journal inside a journal, or just piece of paper?
Piece of paper list.
Lists. So you've got thousands of pieces of paper everywhere with all your lists on it, or
no? I have one list, and you just add things to it.
okay.
I think your vision board can be a list.
It can be.
I
I
do
listed
think
right
that
here.
I really do think that vision boards can be a list.
I think it's
all
about
over
who
the
you
place.
are as a person.
Some people take
Yeah.
vision boards and that's just collaging. That's not visioning anything.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Just
just
collage.
cut out a bunch of pictures and put it on a board and call it vision board. That's not a vision board. That's collaging. Vision board is you have a vision for something and that's what you put on there.
All right, so let me ask you guys,
Ask
what are your like goals for next year? I know Stacey, you may or may not have some,
Of course.
but
I've got goals.
all right. So tell me, what are your goals for next year?
Just to be
2020.
in a more I guess positive state spiritually, because I have felt discomfort over this year and not necessarily who I am as a person, but people that are surrounding me and if things are actually good for myself. So I definitely want to be better about that and
Surround yourself with more positive people.
or just people that are actually going to care for me and actually want to be there for me, because that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make, especially young people, is you can't count your friends on one hand, therefore they're probably not your friends.
That's so
That's just-
funny because
What,
I see that.
Can't count your friends on one what?
One hand,
If you can't count your friends on one hand,
they're probably not your friends.
if you have more than 5 friends, they're probably not
You
your
shouldn't
friends.
have more than 5 real friends, honestly. For me, I have... Who do I have? I have Ina, Dee Dee...
Are you sure you want to throw
And-
out these names? Because what if there are people that just wait, she didn't throw
And-
out my name. You might want to think about
And
that.
let's be real. I mean, I know who my friends are, and they know that I trust them more than I trust other friends that I do have. I had a whole group of friends, maybe 5 to 10 friends that I dropped in college because they weren't really there for me. They weren't going to support me in
But
anything
maybe
I did.
those are just acquaintances, and it's okay
Yeah.
to
No,
have
that's what. You
acquaintances.
can definitely have acquaintances, but if you can't count your friends on one hand, then your real true friends, if you consider more than 5 people your real true friends, probably not not all of those are your real true friends. Some of them are whispering bad things behind your back.
Wow. So there's
think that
some
changes as you get
magic rule
No,
of
it doesn't.
5.
I mean,
you know what I would.
friends, though.
Okay, here's what I would say. I don't know how we got on this from goals, but I would say that if you have at least one good friend, a lot of times that's really all you need to get you through, right?
Yeah.
That you don't need a whole gaggle of people in order to navigate the emotions of life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You need more than that to navigate, all the other parts of life.
Else.
But the emotions of life, yeah, I think if you have just one good friend, then that's enough. You don't
it's
need
just
more
somebody
than
that's
that.
not gonna wish bad on you no matter
Right.
what. And they hope that you succeed as well as they succeed, and you're the same way toward them.
I think sometimes you don't find out who those people really are until things actually take a negative turn.
Yeah.
Which happens in every life.
Or take a positive turn in your life, because sometimes people can turn up for the bad stuff in your life, and then when the positive stuff happens in your life, they are wishing you wrong.
Yep.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Haters
sometimes
gonna hate.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes people
not a
turn
real
wrong
friend.
on
And
you.
and those are the people that are harder to spot, to be honest with
Yep.
you.
Yep.
When things are going
That
really
is so
well,
true.
and they're behind the scenes trying to submarine you, you're just like, what? That just. It reminds me of what that girl said in the conference, where she's like, we should all stop stabbing each other in the back, and the one girl was just like, yeah, stab each other in the front, so that, so that if you're gonna stab somebody, stab them in the front, so they can see it coming. Like, oh my God, yes, please, if you're gonna sabotage me, at least let me see that you're doing it.
I think that seems to be a theme within your generation of women, because I see that a lot on young women's posts.
What?
Don't, how you say,
Don't trust everybody?
yeah, don't trust everybody.
Because you can't. And it's a generational
That's
thing that's been passed down, and that has plagued especially young black women in general, that you can't trust anybody. And that's just facts. And I'm not going to preach to you guys, but I'm about to preach to you guys. Because it's a generational curse that's been passed down, especially within black communities, is that you have to step on other black people to get to where you want to be, because this is like the white man's world, and you're trying to like do whatever, and you're trying to be with everybody else, even though they're not the same color of your skin and they got things a little bit easier than you. Like, you do have to do that, and that's how a lot of people feel, but at the same time you don't. So when you come across people like that are really like, okay, well, I'm gonna like stab her in the back because she's doing so great and I'm not, like,
you really passed that militant gene on to her.
like, I'm just saying, like, you don't need people like that in your life. So that's why that was one of my goals, is to have more positive surroundings in my life. It's because I've had toxic friends like that, and it didn't get me anywhere, and it made me feel worse about myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a reason to.
Yeah. They really bring nothing good to your life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you young ladies. I always look at you and I always say, God, I wish I had like 1/10 their confidence when I was their age.
Mm-hmm.
They're filled with so much confidence, the way they carry their bodies, the way they look at the world and their accomplishments and what they can achieve as women. I'm always impressed by that, and I always wish that that I had 1/10 of that when we were younger, but I also know that some of that wouldn't have come without us doing what we have done to make that possible.
Well, you know what? I would say this. This is sort of a revelation that I've had recently, is like your 20s and your 30s, those set the tone. Like what you do, like how much you do in your 20s and your 30s sets the tone for the next half of your life. And you don't realize it. You think, oh, I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to make that happen, I'm trying. But that phase, that what is that, 2 decades, really are your decades to make it or break it. And so you've got to take the biggest risk that you possibly can, because you have time to recover. So you take the biggest risks that you can in your 20s, because you've got your 30s to recover. If things don't go right, you can always just try something else, right? But you should reach for the hardest thing that you really want, because that really is almost like the only time that you can do it without it costing you anything in life. Because as you get into your 40s and your 50s and you start taking those same risks, you could end up homeless. It could take a very
She's not
bad
talking
turn.
relationships, people.
Yeah, not relationships.
Don't go out there and marry somebody because you heard that speech.
No,
it has nothing to do with relationships. It has to do with what
Getting
you're
the
doing career-wise.
Yeah.
I think that's a fear thing because I've seen people like Aunt Cindy is a great example. Like you guys started.
Girl, before you
Let
throw me up
finish
under
my
the bus.
sentences.
Okay.
Dang.
I'm always afraid she's gonna throw me up under the bus.
And that's the problem. You're too afraid. Stop being afraid. So this is like, you know, Aunt Cindy's not worked. She hasn't worked in a really long time, but she's doing things now that she never thought she would do any other time.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's true.
she's not afraid anymore. She went out on that limb. She did what she had to do. And in the long run, even though she's not working, it's really great because I get to spend time with her.
Aww. I love you.
More than any of the other ones at that, by the way, guys. So.
I think also age has something to do with that. When I hit 50, I was like, I don't know, I just felt different. I felt like, you know, stuff just comes flying out of your mouth now. Not mean, but you know your truth. You know you're true to you. And I think for the first time in my life, I'm always telling people I'm always going to be me. I'm always going to do me. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So when I say something to somebody, I don't try to come at them all mean, but I'm always coming at them with my truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is who I am. This is how I'm speaking to you.
Isn't it because you've lived through and you've seen life, and now you can, from like looking at the rearview mirror, like what's the worst that's gonna happen with me just telling you the truth?
I do. I agree. Yes. I do agree that.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Where
that
before, when you're young,
a lot of that plays into it. You don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, that you can and you should just stay true to yourself and not try to change you based on what other people may want or whatever. It's like, no, this is me, take it or leave it, you know? And in your 20s and your 30s, you're still work in progress.
Yeah, you are.
But
that's true.
I would say even later in life, you're still a work in progress. And that's sort of the beauty of life, that you're still always evolving in some way.
Women are. And that's the truth. Women are. Men get, I think,
set in their ways.
it's a rare man that continues to grow, but men get to a point where they just kind of stop. They're just there.
They do. They're just
They,
like
they've
a rock.
They've gone as far as they can go. and their favorite line is, I'm a simple man. I don't need much. And I'm always like, well, you're with a complicated woman, so get on board.
That's funny.
But I like growing. I like that I'm in the more creative phase of my life right now. I really feel good about that. So that being, if we're looking at what we want for next year, I want to feed more into my creativity. And the one thing you guys said about having people in your life that are going to keep pushing you that direction, like you guys last week, made me draw something.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't think that I could do that.
We
and I really
literally would not let her get away with not drawing what's in her head. She was just like, I see this and that, and I see it. I'm just draw it. Just draw it.
So I did.
Yeah.
But I realized that there's two avenues that I want to get that I want to pursue, and that is my designer avenue and my writing avenue. And so I'm going to try to focus more in on those two things in the year ahead.
Okay.
I really do want to focus in on those two things for me, because that's what's going to feed my soul in the year ahead.
Yeah.
And as every good woman knows, if you're taking care of yourself, then you can take care of other people as well.
Right. So that was your goal. What was your goal, Stacy?
One of my many was just surrounding myself with positive people.
Yeah.
But I think another one for me, this is a very personal one,
Yeah.
is that because at the YMCA we set goals for ourselves, and when we finally accomplish them, when we go to summer camp, we get rags or leathers. And so for me, I finally accomplished my blue rag, which is the very first one.
Rag? Did you say
Yeah,
rag?
it's a rag. It's a little thing tie around your neck. Super cute. I can't find it to save my life, but I finally accomplished my goal, which was to get straight A's while in college, and I did that for
really?
I'd only have one time in one semester.
Wow.
So now this summer, going back to camp, I'm very excited to get my next rag. I want to say it's gold, but I also don't want to be wrong, so let me not say anything. I want to get my next rag, and I think my goal for that one is to just find a very good and stable career. So hopefully that comes.
Awesome.
Right on.
So let me ask you about the career thing. Like, are you the type of person who you want to work for somebody else, or you want to do your own thing? Like, where are you? Because there's two different mindsets, right? There's the mindset where I really can't work for anybody else. I have to be able to do my own thing. That's my mindset. But not everybody. That is so me.
That's just you.
But but not everybody has that mindset. There's some people who are like, I just want to work for a company and I want to do what, go for the goals that the company wants. You know what I mean? And that's what they like. So, what's your mindset?
I feel like anybody would really like to work for themselves because vacation time is any time at that point.
Well,
which is one of my
not necessarily.
No. It's very hard. It's very hard. When taking my business classes in school, I was like, oh, this might not be it. I might just have to go work for a company or whatever. But at the same time, I've always wanted to work for the YMCA. My goal at the end of the day is to become CEO of YUSA. So that's always a big one for me. But I think that while working for somebody else, you can also work for yourself and do what you do on the side, or whatever the case is. I like baking, so I can sit there and either I can incorporate that in my day-to-day life at work, and I can bring in baked goods to work, and not only is it stress relief, but then somebody will take notice and they'll want to bake. They'll want me to bake a cake for a baby shower or something, or even just I can start a side business because people do it all the time. Because not just that one entrepreneurial thing is gonna pay the bills. So
Remember when you wanted to open up that lemon restaurant?
You keep talking about that. Yeah, actually I do. Now that I thought about that.
Do you still want to open up a lemon restaurant?
Yeah, because lemon is my favorite
something
thing.
I've never heard of.
But instead of doing lemon, it's all gonna be finger foods. It's gonna be called fingers because I'm not buying utensils. That's dead. You'll be lucky to get a plate, honestly. But it's just because it's so smart. Nobody
Hands
would
and
do
fingers.
anything.
All the food's on your hand.
Okay,
Pick it up with your fingers.
I love you, but
No, yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna have to
called
bring my
fingers.
own plate.
It's all finger food, so it's things you can eat, but with your hands, so I don't
you
have
just
to worry about
bring
it.
your own.
Okay, so a restaurant that does hors d'oeuvres.
It's all food. You could do anything with fingers. You just
So
never thought about it.
No, I haven't. Sandwiches or
anything and everything. I could do a pasta.
Oatmeal.
How can you eat a pasta?
So this is what happens, right? So you know how
happen?
you know how ready to go ramen is already in a squareness in a pack.
Yeah.
It's not cooked.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like that, but it's gonna be cooked, and then it's gonna be held together by cheese or something something dope.
So macaroni and cheese, but spaghetti.
Well, it could be anything. It doesn't have to
You
be.
can make a spaghetti pie that way.
Oh, and then
That
make it
sounds
solid, cut it up into a
I've
pie
made those
wedge,
before,
and then you can eat it. Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah,
deep
it's a
fried? That
spaghetti
sounds
spaghetti pie, and you mix it with Parmesan cheese
dope. To hold it together, or
and egg and butter.
Yeah,
And
bake it.
And you bake it, and you fill it with whatever your sauces or whatever.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Then that's a
I thought
finger
it was good.
food. Okay.
Then there's your pasta finger food. Boom, there I had.
appreciate you.
Well, that's cool.
Wait, you
What
didn't give
about
us your
you, Sam?
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of what's that cartoon with Pinky and the Brain? It's what are you gonna do tonight, Pinky? Take over the world.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me.
That has always been you.
I got some big goals for 2020. Can't talk about them, but yeah, I'm working on them. No, one of my goals for the podcast is to get the workshop and her fire community up and going, and for women who
I'm
are
really
doing
excited
their
for that.
own thing, that we start supporting each other.
Her fire community, put that on there.
Is that not in this? Is that not one of those?
No.
No? Okay.
It has a name.
Her fire community.
I gotta figure out where I want to put it.
Yeah, HER, capital F, capital I, capital R, capital E.
Now put dots between them because they stand for.
Well, I just figured people would already know. I hate putting dots.
So what that stands for is the fire. So there's a whole group, there's a whole community. If you haven't already heard about it, you guys can Google it. It's called the Fire Community. And it's financial independence, retire early, right? And so it's just like this whole swath of people who basically are taking everything that they earn from their paycheck and socking it away. And the whole thing is that you take, of the fire community, is you take your salary, multiply it times, I think it's times 5. And then once you have your salary for the year, multiply it times 5. And once you have that amount of money socked away into a savings account, then theoretically you should be able to retire. But that means that you've learned to live very frugally along the way. Another way to look at it is you're going, no, not.
Box under the freeway kind of thing?
No. When you think about it, say you're making, all right, let's just take a number that's easy to wrap your head around, right? Say you're making, I'm going to take a really low number just for multiplication purposes.
The average income in LA is $40,000.
Then 40 times 5.
Which is not a living wage, by the way.
What is 40,000 times 5?
2,500.
That's $250,000. So you have $250,000 socked away into your savings. Then at that point, you theoretically could retire.
So tell me this.
But that's the fire community, right? That's what a lot of 20s and 30-year-olds are doing right now. Retire early, right? But our community that we're building, the Her Fire community, the F stands for financial, I, independence, but the R and the E is for retire elevated. So we went from retire early to retire elevated. Why? Because most of us are beyond the retire early stage, right?
Yeah.
But we're all on our grind, doing our own thing, figuring out what is it that we can do.
Starting our own business,
exactly.
Reinventing ourselves.
Reinventing is a really good way to put it. And we're doing that now. And so we need to come together as a women's community to support each other in our own individual endeavors. So that's what the Her Fire community is going to be about.
I really like that. I really like it.
Yeah,
I'm so on board with
jazzed.
that.
Yeah.
I'm there. I can't wait to do that workshop.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys.
You'll be there. I don't know what you're talking
about. That's what I said. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah. That sounds patronizing. And like, I'm excited for you old people.
Eeyore's shown up. Come on now. All right. All right, here's a question. What's the best thing you guys have purchased this year? The best thing you actually purchased this year?
Oh.
Can you think of it?
God.
We're reflecting on 2019.
My air mattress, it's only 8 inches. It's a little camping air mattress, but I got it for like $20 at Target because it was on sale. But they didn't know. So I went over there and I was like, hey, this is on sale. Give me my money back. And they did. But the reason
were you like leaving, like, start the car,
No, it was like whatever. He's kind of like, oh, and I was like, yeah, you gotta fix your sign
because that's what's working at Target. Yeah. Oh.
Okay. All right. Okay, so best things you purchased. All right, so what about fitness routines for 2020?
So I found that I like to just dance in my head.
Yeah.
So like when music comes on, I'm literally like getting my groove on. And I can do stuff in my head that I can't like really do. That's how I'm killing it. Killing it in my head.
You can see this.
But I've been on Twitter and on Instagram. I found this one lady that creates these dance videos, and you just move the way you can. Move the way you want, and I could get with that. Yeah. So I'm gonna order a couple of her DVDs and try that in the coming year.
So she's dancing.
But she's not telling you how to do it. She's not telling you to do certain moves. She's just saying, do this, and then you do this, and you can twerk if you can, and if you can't, that's fine. Just do the best you can. Move the way it works for you. Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And I like that. So I'm gonna see how that works out for me.
You know,
all right, you'll report back.
I took a movement body exploration class at Heal One World on Pico and like Arlington. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Okay.
That's what that sounds like. You should go with her. I'm not going back to that class. I didn't like it.
Why? Because
It was weird. Like, I just didn't like all of this. It's not for me.
It's not for Aunt Sam.
I like to dance. You put on my song and I'm like, let's dance. But not as I don't like going to a exercise studio.
I know. I'm more in the privacy of my own home.
Me
kind
too.
Of thing. And
Like
if I'm
every morning when I'm getting ready,
wedding.
the radio is on.
Well, no, it's
and
it's only like 4 people in the class, and I was including me and Dee Dee, so you guys can go and experience it. You know what? For that, I will.
Why are you recommending stuff that you don't even like? Why are you telling us to go do stuff
you guys might like it. You guys are weird.
We are not weird.
You are weird. Everybody's weird in their own way, so I just feel, like the other 2 people that were in the class beside me and Dee, you guys might like it.
I got a fan a little bit.
Yes, please. It's hot.
Puzzle.
But for anybody that wants to buy a gym membership, and if you're one of those people that likes to lie to yourself because you buy a gym membership every year, just don't do it. Save your money because you're wasting your time. Because now you're sucked into a contract because they told you $10 a month, but in reality it's $10 a month plus all of these extra fees.
So try doing how about
work out at home?
Here's an alternative. Exactly. Like
I used to do the
go to
Richard Simmons
YouTube
at home.
Go to YouTube, grab a video, see how long you stay with working out with them, and if you stay with working out with them for 6 months, then get a gym membership.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea.
And if you let it go after 2 weeks, you saved some money. There you go.
All right.
We're here for you.
So what's mine? Let me ask a question. Okay. What do you make enough time for the important things in life? And what would you make more time for in the year ahead? Really?
No, I can take it. All right, I'll take this one. I think I've recrafted my life in a way that I have time to do things that are important to me that before I didn't, and everything that I wanted to do I tended to put on the back burner, and I had to do everything else first and then I could do that thing. But I've sort of flipped the script on my life, and now it's just like, nope, what I want to do is super important. That's what I'm going to do. This is, I'm at this really cool time in my life.
Right, me too.
Where I'm an empty nester, and I love, I love my kids, but now it's all about it's like being 20 again, where you just have your own life again, and whatever you want to do, and you're not living your life for somebody else. And I love it. So, yeah, I can't think of anything that I actually don't already make time for that I want to do. I think
that's
cool.
Do it. Well, you're always doing something. Zen, let's do this. Okay.
But you look back and you're like, we should have did that.
I think that I do. I am all about, I think since I stopped working, which is one of the reasons that I stopped working, because I just literally hit a wall. And it was the best thing and the worst thing I did all at the same time, because you just don't know that when you're going that hard, that your body does not have time to fix itself. So when you slow down to a point where your body can start telling you this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong.
These are all the things you broke.
Exactly.
Exactly.
This is what I've been rubber banding and fake gluing back together for you.
Duct tape and super glue.
Exactly. So, but I have fully appreciated that I have had, and I think it's the best gift that my husband has ever given me, is that, he's not nagging on me, and he's like, okay, yeah, but we do need the money. But he's not like breathing down my neck. So I feel good in that I have the opportunity to explore something that's going to be real to me.
Because if not now, when? When you
That
can
is
do it?
what
Have
I'm-
you dropped dead?
I'm always asking myself that. I asked the lady I used to work with. Her name was Yvonne, and Yvonne was an older lady, and food would mess with Yvonne's stomach. And I'm like, God, Yvonne, at what point do you just get to eat food and enjoy it? When you're young, you can't eat it and enjoy it because it makes you fat, and then it just turns on you when you get old. When do you get to enjoy food? And so I'm like, yeah, if not now, when?
Exactly.
When do I get to do me? And now.
Yeah.
Yes, now I'm doing me.
Yes.
And I take time for me. I take every Friday, I shut myself in the house, and that's where I stay.
Oh, that's nice.
Even though somebody's always trying to get me to go somewhere. I'm like, no, this is my day at home. But you go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
I sure do call you on Fridays when you're not doing anything. You're sitting at home.
Yeah, no, I'm not sitting there. I'm doing other stuff, but it's for me. You know, I'm watching, catching up on my TV shows, and then I do a little bit of writing. And now,
Speaking of that,
because somebody pushed me, I'm trying to draw.
Yes. Speaking of that, binge watching TV shows, there is a YouTube channel that I just got turned on to, and I saw it in one of those flight magazines, and I love it. Oh my god!
Is it a science tape show?
No, dude. I think it's like a state-sponsored Chinese propaganda thing, but I absolutely love it. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, it's about this young girl who's probably in her like 20s, and she lives with her grandma in the Chinese countryside, and it's all about their day-to-day life. Like, she gets up and she goes to the woods and she like picks some mushrooms and comes back and starts cooking them up.
I think they play that in the nail shop that I go to. Honestly, no, like, not joking or anything, but I feel like I've seen it before.
Yeah, she's got over like 12 million views on just one of the actual
That's actually really
things.
dope.
It's very relaxing because it's playing like this Chinese music, like the pling, 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 pling in the background. It will.
It's
totally,
always that. What is it? That
It's like
it
the
always sounds
chimes.
like they're using that in the flute or the.
Yes, it's like a flute and some
recorder.
chimes.
Yeah.
It's so relaxing. It's called Liziqui, 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 and I'm telling you, it's so relaxing. It's hard to put down. I
Really?
literally binge watched like maybe 6 or 7 of them, and I was just so relaxed.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know
like
what
to
you're
be relaxed when I'm watching TV shows. I like to get into it. So like,
do you like drama, adventure, horror?
I mean, I watch it all. So like, for me, I guess one show that I'm watching right now is actually an anime. It's called, what is it? It's like Oran's Host Club. It's on YouTube, not YouTube, on Netflix. And I just be sitting there laughing, like I'm dying. I'm just laughing, and like, something like really funny might have just happened to everybody else in the show, but I'm just in there dying. Or like when something like miserable just happened, I'm sitting there crying with them. Like I like shows like that. I like to be into it.
Yeah, and it's called Oran's Host Show.
Host Club.
Oran's Host Club.
I don't know. That might be wrong. Actually, I don't. You can find it if you look
Okay.
deep in there.
I just watch for sheer entertainment. There is a rare time that I want to be educated about watching TV. I just want to watch for sheer entertainment.
What's your favorite genre of like movie?
I
TV?
love. Okay, so look, this is what I've done.
Yeah. What?
I love mysteries,
Okay.
and I also like to do.
Nancy Drew is on now.
I
Did you
watched
see
that. I love it.
It's good on
Because
CW.
it combines my 2 favorite things, magic and mystery.
Okay.
Oh.
And I like that show Charm. Probably
The
like
new
Charm.
one?
Yeah, I like the new one. And the old
There's
one.
a new
I
one?
like them both.
Yeah, the CW, they're redoing all these shows.
They're redoing all the shows.
But
Okay.
none of the old people are actually in the new ones. It's kind of like,
Yeah, like Arrow. There's a show on called Arrow that's kind of it's kind of boring, but they're going off the season. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to bring back all the young people in it and make a new Arrow. But anyway, so I love an adventure. I love a mystery. I love word search puzzles, and I like those puzzles where you.
They have those on TV?
No, I just like them.
Oh.
But I'm telling you about it because I found these 2 puzzles in the app in the Google Game Store.
Uh-huh.
It's called June's Journey, and the other one, it's called June's Journey, and the other one is called Pearl.
Okay.
And they're both puzzles where you have to go in and you have to find items, but at the same time there's this whole storyline going on
Okay.
within the game. So the game is a storyline, and you get to build these islands. You get to build on these islands. And I just love it because it combines everything I love. Adventure, mystery, and search.
There's a game
Boom.
like that on Twitch that, and I don't remember the name of it. Gosh, we are like being no help to you guys sometimes when we're like, can't remember this stuff. But I kind of, like when I was going through Twitch and kind of looking at some of the channels, there was a game that was like you're a detective and you walk into this, bar and you're asking people questions and they're answering back and stuff like that, and you're trying to solve the mystery. There's actually a
I love
game.
that. See, I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love a good mystery, and I love adventure, and one is set in the 1920s, which I love, and the other one is more current day. But those are really fun. I love doing those, but I do tend toward the mysteries and the adventure movies and Fast and Furious type stuff. I love that kind of
They
stuff.
don't make any good adventure movies. Like the last good adventure movie was Indiana Jones, the original.
Like those,
That
yeah.
was the
They don't
last
do those
good
anymore.
one.
They don't do those anymore.
No.
I haven't
For good
seen
reason.
another adventure movie that's as good as that. They should. That's because they keep redoing the old stuff instead of coming up with new stuff.
It's because it's easy.
Well, like Jumanji.
I know, but
Jumanji is
the new
really good.
Jumanji's good.
I like
So
the
good.
Jumanji.
Have you seen the new
I haven't
Jumanji?
seen the new one.
I haven't seen the newest new one.
Well, I
But
think it's not yet.
The one that first came out with The Rock, and it was good.
That was good. That was
Academy
funny.
Award winning.
Yeah,
Nick
no,
Jones
I don't
was
know
not
that
all
far.
that. It's
It
not
was-
all
it
that.
Really was. I think I haven't seen Jack Black be actually really good since King Kong, and it was just like.
Did you see the clock? The house with the clocks.
Oh,
on
he
the
was
wall or
cute in
something
that,
like
yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
watch
that was
it
cute.
because I was like, this is probably not going to be good because
It was cute.
It was
really,
actually
it was
good.
good.
Yeah, but cute doesn't equal good. It equals a child's movie, which is what it was.
Yeah, it was actually
but
entertaining.
I just
It
I
was
don't know.
entertaining.
Yeah.
If you just look
Okay,
at it
I
from the
might look at it.
perspective of being entertained.
Right. It's like it tried to be a little Harry Potter and a little mystery and.
And I feel
It's
like that
actually
would have let
entertaining.
me down had I watched it.
Really?
But I think, well, first of all, I can't watch movies. I took a film class, and I can't do that. I analyze everything in a movie now, and it really sucks.
Oh, it
Well,
ruined
that's how-
movies for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great
I
class,
took a
though.
makeup class, but I don't analyze that. I don't care. I'm just like
I do when I look
the
at
only
people
thing
in
I
their
say is I don't
makeup.
even know how they can wear that crap on their
Okay.
faces.
When I'm watching those makeup tutorials, I am analyzing it from the standpoint of the makeup class. I'm like, oh, they're
Seriously?
highlighting.
Wait,
Yeah,
you guys
'cause
took a
they're
makeup class and I
highlighting and
wasn't
they're
invited?
shading.
It was years ago when
Wow.
You weren't
we were
even
trying to
born.
figure out. You weren't even yeah.
Wow.
You weren't even a
Guess we
twinkle
gotta
in your
take
father's
another
eye.
one. 'Cause I want to go.
That class was just like the minute we had
It
to
was
put
fun.
on that cake makeup. I'm like, okay,
Your
I'm out of
skin
here.
was ruined because
I'm
it
outta
was just
here.
it's just a greasy.
My-
like I don't know how people in Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know how they
their
do
face
it.
actually withstands.
Survives that.
You
Yeah.
I
don't
don't.
put that much makeup
It's
on
oily
anymore.
and greasy.
Makeup
I
isn't
just-
the same.
The
'Cause I know
pink-
what you're talking about.
It's
Yeah,
like
not
it's
that
like
anymore.
10 pounds of really bad mud on your face.
It's 'cause
Yeah.
you're not wearing the right things.
Greasy mud.
No.
No,
This is
it was for the
theatrical
camera.
makeup.
Oh.
It's camera makeup. It's different than
No, because
regular
even
makeup.
then, because now a lot of like when you're in, is it like, well, never mind. Movie makeup is a lot more different now, because it is a lot more lightweight. So
Is it?
Well, that's good, because thank
'Cause
God, because that was just, woo. Yeah. But we learned a lot, right, about shading and highlighting and, all kinds of stuff.
None of which I remember.
It was
'cause I
so
don't wear
fun.
makeup.
If you get a chance, when you're in college or whatever, or you just want to take an elective course, take theatrical makeup. It was
I thought
fun.
this was a regular makeup class. I got excited. Got too excited.
Yeah,
Just let me
no,
down
it's
like
theatrical makeup.
Yeah.
I'll trust you guys on your experience.
Yeah.
Boy, there's a whole lot of next year coming up. I tell you, there's so much going on next year. I'm excited for some of it, and
We've got a lot of really good things going on.
we do.
What was your word of this year? And what's your word going to be for next year? Do you have a word that kind of sums up 2019, or that you used a lot in 2019 that you had never used before?
Ooh.
I know, that's a tough one, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's a word that sums up 2019 for you?
I got through.
That's more than one word.
Yeah.
Survival.
It has to be one word.
Survival.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
Okay.
I survived.
And so what's your word for 2020 then?
Thrive.
I like it.
I like that you rhymed.
From survive to thrive. What about you, Stacey?
It's only one word?
Yeah, if you can sum 2019 up into one word.
No. That's
No.
one word. It's just no.
Okay. So that's your
But-
word of 20. That's your word of 20.
Like you have to say it
N-O.
the right. Yeah, but you have to say it the right way. So it's kind of like no. But 2020's word is no. I'm not doing it. No. You gotta say no sometimes, and people just don't do that. And I wasn't doing it last year as much as I should have. I was doing, not really. But I still ended up doing whatever I didn't want to do in the first place. Like this thing I'm doing for Uncle Gary, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired. But I'm gonna do it because I said I would already. But
What?
you know.
I missed all that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me speak up. Let me project. Okay, so it's no, not really. You don't really want to do it, but you're gonna end up doing it anyways because you're just a reliable person like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
for me, so when I was doing that, I agreed to doing something for my uncle that honestly, right now it's seeming like I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't care. I don't have the heart for it.
So now your
But-
no is really going to mean
Yeah. So now my no is no. Period. No.
Right.
That's it. It's underlined. It's
Okay.
in bold. It's
Okay.
100 font.
No
it's
with
just-
conviction.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's different. Because now I'm doing no because I don't have time and I got to do what's right for me.
Yeah.
Not
Always.
No. Yeah.
Always.
So did you catch
Yeah.
the difference in that? In the
Yeah.
no, but no.
Yeah.
You got it?
We're going to be so pessimistic by the time this is over.
She's gonna beat us down.
Oh
no,
my God.
saying no is a really positive thing because
Yes, I believe
I'm
that.
stretching myself out way too thin.
Yeah, we already know that.
I would say I would believe that as long as you have as much conviction for yes, that you haven't completely shut the door on yes.
No, if I
You know
know
that
if I-
book, The Year of Yes?
No.
Yeah, there's someone wrote a book. I think it's the gal who wrote all those TV shows that did Fantastic and what is it?
How to Get
Secretary, Madam Secretary and all that. Who wrote Rashonda Rhimes? Something Rhymes. Shonda Rhimes.
Yeah.
I think she wrote a book. Don't quote me on who wrote the book, but I think she wrote a book called A Year of Yes, where
that's really dope. I'm gonna read it.
she had noticed that most of the time when people would ask her to do things, her knee-jerk answer was always no. And
Oh
she
yeah.
said,
I'm hearing. Now that you're saying it, I'm hearing
yeah.
that, and I think you're right.
And so she decided, you know what? I'm going to spend 1 year just when someone asks me to do something.
You're right.
I'm going to say yes.
Wasn't
And
it
she's like,
Rashonda-
that was the
Shonda.
most amazing year of
Shonda
my...
Rhimes.
Yeah,
Shonda Rhimes.
it is.
Of my life. I feel like you kind of need to do that
No,
at some
I don't
point.
think you're understanding what I'm saying when I'm saying no. What I'm saying no is I know for a fact I've got 1,500 things going on in my life. Right now, I have a lot on my plate, but because I said yes to the thing Uncle Gary asked me to do, I don't have time for myself anymore. And that's not okay. So that's what I'm saying by saying no.
So you're pushing. You're gonna put no out there and put yourself
First.
first.
I like
get
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I get
Okay.
that.
Because there was a follow-up movie with Jim Carrey where he said he had to say yes to everything. Did you see that one? It was a comedy. It was actually pretty funny. It was kind of riff off that concept.
What was it called?
I don't remember.
Say it again.
Just look at all of
There's a
Jim
Jim Carrey
Carrey's
movie.
movie
There's
where
only like
he
100 of
just
those.
said the premise was he made some sort of deal. I
Google
can't
it.
remember what the deal was, that he had to say yes to everything. Like everything.
Oh, okay.
And so some crazy stuff, and he just had to say yes to.
And you're gonna do that next year?
No, I didn't
Oh,
say I was
yes,
gonna
ma'am.
do
See,
that
that's
next
how
year.
that works.
Yeah, no, I
Oh, Yes Man. I did watch this one time, but I don't
Okay.
remember it at all.
yeah. So there was kind of like a riff off of that book. Like, okay, let's make a movie where you actually do that. And it was a comedy. It's pretty funny.
Actually, maybe
So,
I'll try that for
yours.
2020.
Your
Yeah, maybe
Your word.
maybe just a day. Just take a day where you just say yes to
Do-
people like, hey, do you want to work on blah blah blah, or do you want to go blah blah blah? Just say yes and see what happens.
We shall see.
Yeah.
So what is your word that sums up this year?
See, I'm not good at spontaneous answers.
Here we go.
I'm a ponderer.
You should have
I
been
have
pondering
to-
the whole time.
Exactly.
This was your question.
I know, it was my question for you guys because you guys are good at snap answers. It'll my answer I'll give you in 3 days after I think about it. I can't do snap
It's
answers.
not that you're a ponderer. You just like, okay, well, what are my options?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
your
gotta think about it. I
People
gotta-
say I'm pondering.
I
Yeah,
gotta
you're just
look at
looking for
all
your options. What are my
sides of it.
options?
Yeah.
So just give me something.
I don't know.
Well, what's your word for next year?
My word for next year is go get it.
That's more than one word.
I know it is.
But that's
Can
okay.
you sum it up in one word then?
Vroom! In the car. Like, go.
You see why you need to ponder? You see why you need to ponder? There's a reason for the ponder.
That's a good one.
No, it's like you're sitting in your Lamborghini.
That was cute. But I see I am putting out good things for our podcast next year. We're gonna and we're gonna start wrapping it up, but closing out this year,
Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you to all that looked in and looking for more.
Thank you to our listeners and our viewers. You guys are amazing.
And we look forward to bringing you more. Look for us. Go to YouTube and click on this
Best 2 Podcasts.
Best 2 Podcasts and hit that subscribe button on YouTube.
And the notifications, and then you'll know when we put up a new video.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Connect with us on Facebook. All at Best 2 Podcast. And we
check
would go
our
ahead
website because we
and check
put
out
up-
our website at Best 2 Podcast.
We're gonna start writing more blog posts.
I
We've been
know,
very
it's
bad
just
about
that we need an extra hand for all that. But I would also like to give a really huge shout out and hug to our sponsor who has allowed us to use office space for our podcasting and sponsor us, and just Go Graphics and Printing Company.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, affordable color printing at gographics.net.
Awesome.
Or you can call 310-445-9999.
And with that, we'll see you guys
Next year.